Hey everyone. Let's see. Whoa. Still relatively recovering. I just had my wisdom teeth taken out. When was it? Today's Thursday, so it was Monday? Monday, maybe? Was it Monday? Or was it Tuesday? It was either Monday or Tuesday. I had my wisdom teeth taken out. Today's the third day, so if it's Thursday, it would probably make it Tuesday, I think. But I believe it's the third day of recovery. Setting up for, some gentle kirtan because of my teeth. Maybe an oracle reading, and then we're going to hop back into Valmiki's Ramayana because that's, my favorite, one of my favorite books that we're reading the last few days. It's been very beneficial for us. I think I've been doing my best. I've been, trying really hard at getting that book out and sharing it with people. So, what's up, everybody? I just had my wisdom teeth taken out Monday, so I still got a little bit of swelling going on here. The hope is to be able to read a little bit of Valmiki's Ramayana tonight, which is a good book. One of my favorite books. We finished the Balakanda Sunday night, right before I went in. We finished the last 7 sargas, which are like little mini chapters of the book. And now we're in the Ayodhya Kanda, which Ayodhya is the city in India that Rama was from, Lord Rama. And this is just a beautiful story, man. It's just one of the most beautiful stories. The Ayodhya Kanda is probably going to be one of my more favorite, more familiar parts because understanding and reading the Ramayana, the Balakanda had some parts that I had never heard about in it, and it was pretty interesting. They had held a lot of stories between the sage Vishvamitra teaching Ramayana, or teaching Rama, all these different things that were happening, between like how the Ganga was created by Shiva, all these other great religious stories, just absolutely fantastic. But what was interesting is, there was a lot of them. It wasn't just one. If you look through the Balakanda, there was at the very end of it, here we were reading, it's about, I think I have 70 chapters, 70 little sargas in here. And so there's actually two Ramas in the last bit of the Balakanda, which was interesting. I had never heard that there were 2 Ramas, or at least 2 people by the name Rama. There was Rama Dasarati, who's our Rama, Lord Rama, the incarnation of Vishnu. And then there was Rama Jamadagnya, which was someone who had the bow of Vishnu from where Vishnu and Shiva fought. And if you remember correctly, in just a few chapters prior to that, Rama actually broke the bow that was Shiva's by trying to string it. He snapped it, and there was a big lightning strike, thunder, and everything. Everyone was like, okay, now we know who you are, And then, then Rama, Jamadagnya, comes up, and he's like, hey, I have this bow of Vishnu, and so because you broke this other bow, you must do something with this bow. Knock an arrow and shoot it, towards something of your choice. He gave him the choice between all the worlds that he had conquered, or there was something else. I don't remember exactly, but he says, or his retreat. That's what he says. So he's either destroying his retreat or he's destroying the towns he came from. In that, and it was very interesting because Rama did destroy that the places he had conquered, all the things that he had basically under his belt, sort of. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it was figurative, more or less, but that was what it was. He says, this is actually the. He says, Rama, you may destroy the incomparable worlds that I have won through my austerities. So it's almost like he has these worlds under his belt, so to speak, because he's won them. He's talking about, this is Rama Jamadagnya. So Rama Jamadagnya is another form of Rama. It's like a whole nother Rama. It's not the same Rama, just a whole nother guy by the name of Rama. Jamadagnya was the family lineage name, just like Dasarat is Rama's father. So when we say Rama Dasarati, we're talking about the Rama who was the son of Dasarat, King Dasarat of Ayodhya. And so we finished the Balakanda Sunday night. And I'm interested to start back up on the Ayodhya Kanda. I just had my wisdom teeth taken out Monday, so we've been on hiatus for the last 4 days or so. I got some swelling still going on, so you can hear me. I'm talking a little bit, but I'm still in quite a bit of pain, guys. So if at any point that this gets, it gets too long. We'll probably only read 5 sargas or something. But if at any point we're doing this and it seems like we're doing this for too long, or we don't have very many viewers, and I'm in a lot of pain or something, we might just have to call it, early. But I would love to share this book with you, and a little bit of kirtan, a little bit of devotional singing. This is one of my favorite stories ever. For anyone who's new tuning in, it's called the Ramayana of Valmiki. It is an old, thousands and thousands of years old poem, and a good quote from right at the beginning of the Balakanda that comes through at the beginning of this book, which tells a good story about the book. It gives you a good history and a good understanding of what the book actually is. It says, Yavat, I'm not even going to try all the Sanskrit. It says, as long as the mountains and rivers shall endure upon the earth, so long will this tale of the Ramayana be told among the people. And that's from the Balakanda 1.2.35. So that's it's like one of the first verses in the Ramayana say that it'll be told forever and ever and ever throughout all time. So I'm just going to ask for a little bit of grace tonight, because I did get my wisdom teeth taken out Monday. If I end up getting in too much pain to continue, guys, we're just going to have to call it for the night, or maybe a little bit early. But I'm still excited about this, and I'm hoping that we at least get to sing some kirtan, at least read a few sargas, a couple mini chapters out of this book before it starts acting up too bad. I was actually in a lot of pain before I hopped on here, and I said, well, I'll go and do this, and if it's God willing, that I should be reading the Ramayana tonight, the pain is, will be manageable enough for me to me to continue reading and whatnot. If it's not, then I may have to just hop off. But either way, I think it's all in divine timing. We'll see. Everyone who's supposed to be tuning in is supposed to be tuning in. So we're going to be singing a kirtan, one of the ones I learned very simply. No, there's an easy part of this kirtan, which kirtan is just a word for devotional chanting, just devotional singing. There's a very easy part of it, that's Shri Ram, Jai Ram. And Shri means Lord or honorable. It's a title meaning hail, basically. It's like Shri is, it's just an honorable title. Anyone who has honor in India is usually addressed as Shri. And so Shri Ram, Rama is a name of God. He's an incarnation of the great Hindu god Vishnu, who's the preserver. He's known as the 7th incarnation. And so we say Shri Ram, and Jai is another word meaning hail. It's also like a cheer. It's like Jai, Jai, Jai. It actually relates to our English word hey. So hey is that's hey, but Jai is, it's like a hail type thing. It's a cheering on, and then you say Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Those are the only words. You can feel called if you feel called to set with that. It's when you chant the holy names of God, you bring His energy, you bring His essence into the area with you. You bring His essence into the room with you. The purpose of chanting God's holy names is to be with God. So that's an easy part of the chant. The hard part is going to be the Chalisa. There's about 40 different verses or so in Sanskrit. Maybe lasts about 9 minutes or so. And they might be something completely unfamiliar, but they won't be something unfamiliar in the term of vibration. These mantras, these Sanskrit stotras and Chalisas, and Chalisa that we're singing specifically, it's a very powerful thing vibrationally. It's going to heal you. And you can feel it. It's a very healing vibration. When we chant these, they're to bring out the God self within us, the part of our self, the innermost self that is one with God. At least within mysticism and mystic traditions, like the one I consider myself a part of. Even though I don't like labels, guys. I've gotten to a point where I've moved beyond labels. This is just a lovely prayer to Hanuman. Hanuman's the Hindu monkey god. He's the devotee of Lord Rama. He is so close to Rama, he is said to be like Rama's breath, And so we really deeply respect Hanuman because he's the servant of God. And, my guru, Nimkaroli Baba, he said that Hanuman and Christ were one and the same, in that they are both the servants of God. They are both lovers of God. They're both so devoted to God that they're like the very, very breath of God. And Hanuman says to Lord Ram, he says, when I don't know who I am, I serve you. When I know who I am you. And that means that when he's aware of his true self, he knows that that true self is Rama, but he is the servant. Just like the thinking mind Ram Dass said, is a perfect servant but a lousy master. So we surrender our thinking mind to the awareness that is our soul, the soul that gets to watch every thought born, Brahma, preserved, and Vishnu, and then die, Shiva. We get to watch all that whole process. It's a cycle, as if a pebble's dropped in a pond, and you see the ripples form and they disappear. That is how it's the same process of watching our mind, and in that way, the mind is a perfect servant but a lousy master. Because if you make the ripples, the master, then you can be shaken by those waves. But instead, we need to take the figurative idea of Yeshua walking on the water out to Peter and them and the others in the boat, and saying, "Well, what do you fear?" They thought it was a ghost out there because there was a big storm going on. He said, "Why do you fear?" And he held out to Peter and said, "Come out, step on this water with me. Walk out here with me." And the moment that Peter began to look down, as if he's looking at his own thoughts, he's forgetting that part of himself that is the loving awareness. He gets caught in the thoughts, and so he starts sinking below the water again. It was all figurative. It's all beautifully figurative for your own mind and your own journey in meditation. Did it happen for real? Maybe. It's great to believe in magic. But is it important? We'll see. The importance is knowing it for yourself inwardly. This is the Hanuman Chalisa. Bhajaloji Hanuman, Bhajaloji Hanuman. I just had my wisdom teeth taken out to reiterate, so if I'm not singing very loudly, that is why. We're doing the best of our ability. Love you guys. Bhajaloji Hanuman, Bhajaloji Hanuman, Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja, Nijaman Guru Sudha. Arano Raghuvar Vimala Jasu, Jodaya Kamalaja, Buddhina Tanu Janage, Sumiram Pavani Kumasara, Ala Buddhi Vedya Demohi, Aravu Kaleshaka, Yavaram Chandra Pada Jaya Jaya Hanuman Gyan.
सभी लोग स्टार्टिंग
रामदूतुलित बलधाम अंजनी पोष पवन सुत नाम महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ बजे ध्वजा विराज कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर तब चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति की बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई सहस बदन तुमरो यस गावे बस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद शारद सहित ईसा ब्रह्म कुबेर दिगपाल जहांते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहांते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीना राम मिलाए राजपद दीना तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण पद जान युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लीलोत्साही मधुर पद जान मधुमूलिका मेल मुख माही चल दिलांग गए अश रचनाई दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे थे राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आप तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीर संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा हे प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाए जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त गाए और देवता चेतन धरहि हनुमत से सर्व सुख करहि संकट कटे मिटे सब पीड़ा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई छूटहि बंद महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा कीजे नाथ हृदय महादेव पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप सियावर रामचंद्र वर जय शरण मंगल मूर्ति मारुति नंदन सकल मंगल मूल निकंदन मंगल मूर्ति मारुति नंदन सकल मंगल मूल निकंदन श्री राम जय जय राम 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 श्री Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
It wasn't the
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
it's just the
Ram.
hands.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai
The writing didn't zoom in like that.
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
There it is. Tim. I'll get it. 1 second.
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
Yeah, it's cool that he has the same person to write that last part.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri
Ram
क्या हुआ सिस्टर
Jai Jai Ram.
बच्चा
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
नमः शिवाय ध्वनि नमः शिवाय
We would set with more, but just to reiterate, I've had my wisdom teeth taken out just Monday, so I'm being real quiet tonight. I'm not trying to strain my wounds very bad at all. I want to let them heal up properly. But the idea is that we're going to read a few sagas out of the Ramayana of Valmiki tonight, if anyone wants to join us for that. If not, it's perfectly fine. You know, this is one of my absolute favorite books, favorite stories, actually written by my pal up here, Ganesha, called the Ramayana of Valmiki. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. We just finished the Balakanda, which is the story of the beautiful story of the child of Ram. That was Sunday. We've been on hiatus. I was thinking about reading this if we have any viewers. If not, I might just read it myself because it's a beautiful one. There's also some people who are very beloved who have missed out on the last 7 sagas of the Balakanda. At some point, if God willing, I would like to redo those with them because it was a very beautiful end to that story where people were returning back. They were returning back to Ayodhya after the marriage of Rama and Sita, and also all the other brothers of Rama and the sons of King Dasara. A very interesting, very beautiful story. This is the Ayodhya Kanda. Since we have some people tuning in, I'm going to begin here in Sarga 1. This is the first Sarga, the first little mini chapter here of the Ayodhya Kanda of Valmiki's Ramayana. This is Valmiki's Ramayana. If you guys ever want to take a screenshot to go find out about this book for yourself, it's become one of my most favorite stories ever. I'm going to do the best I can to not strain my voice too bad because I did have my wisdom teeth taken out Monday and we've been singing, so we're going to have to be real, kind of quiet and do our best with this. I'm still in a lot of pain. But, obviously the swelling's not too bad. I've been lucky. It could have been a lot worse. I hope I didn't give myself a dry socket. I was eating a mango earlier, and I was, sucking on the mango because the mango's really good, man. I had a lot of pain for about, 30, 45 minutes. I'm afraid I actually hurt myself a little bit. But hey, we're here. My cat's here. And we're here to read the Ramayana. This is the Ayodhya Kanda. We're beginning here in Sarga 1. We may only read a couple sargas tonight because it just depends on what level my pain's in. But I love this book, guys, and there's an air that comes to the room when you read it that's so spiritually familiar to my soul. I've known it for lifetimes, and I just love to share it with anyone who might feel the same way. Or even if you don't feel the same way, it's a beautiful thing to become familiar with. It's a beautiful thing to love and to fall into devotion with God, because all of these things we do, whether we sing to God or we're reading about God or we're spending time with God or whatever we're doing, it's all a prayer, It's all a prayer. It's all bhakti. It's all the yoga of love. We're just devoting ourselves to fully feeling that in our minds instead of things that might harm us. There's all kinds of things in this world, that aren't the best for us. But God desires us to spend time with Him because it is what's best for us. But God will give you anything you want, It's part of our inheritance, whatever you want, even if it's not so good. That's why there's bad karma. But we're here for what's best for us because that's where the healing is, man. The world needs healing. The world needs to come back to devotion. The world needs to remember that. We're going to begin here in Sarga 1. Time passed, and then one day King Dasara, the delight of the Raghus, spoke to Bharat, his son by Kaikeyi. My mighty son, and if you can't hear me, just let me know. My mighty son, your mother's brother, Yudhajit, the son of Kakaya, has come and is waiting to take you back home with him. When he had heard what Dasara had said, Kaikeyi's son, Bharata, prepared to depart with Satrugna, taking leave of his father, of tireless Rama, and of his mothers, the hero, the best of men, went off with Satrugna. Delighted to have Bharat and Satrugna with him, mighty Yudhajit returned to his native city to the great satisfaction of his father. There Bharat lived with his brother, enjoying the warm hospitality of his uncle Ashvapati, who showered him with all the affection one shows a son. And yet, as the mighty brothers stayed on, their every desire satisfied, they often thought with longing of aged King Dasara. The great king likewise often thought of his two absent sons, Bharat and Satrugna, the equals of great Indra and Varuna, for he cherished every one of those 4 bulls among men, which is a common phrase in India. It's like an honorable phrase. It's commending them. His sons as if they were 4 arms extending from his very body. But still, of all of them, it was mighty Rama who brought his father the greatest joy. For he surpassed his brothers in virtue, just as the self-existent Brahma surpasses all other beings. In Bharata's absence, Rama and powerful Lakshmana showed reverence to their godlike father. Following his father's orders, righteous Rama did all that was required to please and benefit the people of the city. He scrumptiously did all that his mothers required of him and attended to his guru's requirements with strict punctuality. Thus Dasarat was pleased with Rama's conduct and character, as were the Brahmins, the merchants, and all who lived in the realm. Rama was always even-tempered and kind-spoken. Even if he were to be harshly addressed, he would not answer back. He would be satisfied with a single act of kindness, whatever its motive, and would ignore 100 injuries, so great was his self-control. With good men advanced in years, virtue, and wisdom. He would converse at every opportunity, even during breaks in his weapons practice. He was of noble descent on both sides of his family. He was upright and cheerful, truthful and honest. He was called Kakutsa, which means the most righteous one. Aged twice-born Brahmins had seen to his training, men who were wise in the ways of righteousness and statecraft, and thus he understood the true nature of righteousness, statecraft, and personal pleasure. He was retentive and insightful, knowledgeable and adept in the societal proprieties. He was learned in the Shastras and skilled in the practice of them as well. He was an excellent judge of men and could tell when it was appropriate to show his favor or withhold it. He knew the right means for collecting revenue and accepted the way of regulating expenditure. He had achieved preeminence in the sum total of the Shastras, even the most complex.
I forgot my fries.
Is mine still warm? After only satisfying, I know I've got it cold for like the last 3 times we've ordered it. Will you heat it up for me? Thank you, love. After satisfying the claims of righteousness and statescraft would he give himself up to pleasure, and then never immoderately. I don't want them black though, if you can help. Burning it. I'll get it out. Don't worry. Just like set a small timer. I know that stuff cooks real quick.
Did you hear me though? I forgot my fries.
That's sad. Let's see. Only after satisfying the claims of righteousness and statescraft would he give himself up to pleasure, and then never immoderately. He was a connoisseur of the fine arts and understood all aspects of political life. He was proficient in training and riding horses and elephants, eminently knowledgeable in the science of weapons, and esteemed throughout the world as a master chariot warrior. He could head a charge and give battle and lead any army skillfully. He was invincible in combat, even if the gods and asuras themselves were to unite in anger against him. He was never spiteful, haughty, or envious, and he had mastered his anger. He would never look down on any creature, nor bow to the will of time. By his eminent virtues, the prince won the esteem of people throughout all the 3 worlds. For he was patient as the earth, wise as Brahaspati, and mighty as Indra, Shaki's lord. Rama's virtues were prized by all the people, a source of joy to his father, and lent the prince himself such splendor, as the sun derives from its shining beams. His conduct and invincible valor made him so like one of the world guardians that earth herself desired to have him as her master. Now King Dasara, slayer of enemies, observed the many incomparable virtues of his son. He fell to thinking, in his heart he cherished this single joyous thought: when should I see my dear son consecrated? His one desire is that the world should prosper. He shows compassion to all creatures and is loved in the world even more than I, like a cloud laden with rain. He is as mighty as Yama or Chakra, wise as Brahaspati, steady as a mountain, and far richer in virtues than I. Oh, that at my age I might go to heaven, seeing my son holding sway over this entire land. This is Dasara, his father, praying over him. Recognizing that his son was endowed with all of these consummate virtues, the great king consulted with his advisors and chose him to be prince regent. The Lord of the earth then convened the chief men of the land from the various cities and provinces in which they lived. The kings arrived, and in different places he assigned to them, they solemnly took their seats, facing the king. The Lord of men paid his respects to the nobles and the men of the city and provinces, and as they sat differentially around him, he resembled Indra, the 1,000-eyed lord, surrounded by the deathless gods. That's the first sarga. I'm going to have to take a little bit of a hiatus and use the restroom. You guys can get to vote on whether or not we continue from this place, on whether or not you guys are still here when I get back. It'll only be about 30 seconds. I just had my wisdom teeth taken out Monday, so I'm in a little bit of pain, but I'm enjoying reading this for you guys. If you guys want us to continue, if you're back, well, by the time I get back, we will definitely continue this story in Sarga 2, and probably read until at least Sarga 5 tonight. It's up to you all. But just let me know if you all stay here. I'll be back in just 30 seconds. If you have other things to do, no worries, man. We'll get to it whenever I'm potentially feeling a little better. No hard feelings either way. I'd love to keep reading.
Where? Hang up.
Like that when I'm on live. For any time, really, I would rather not. Is it done? Oh, it's not even. We have a little parakeet who likes to be loud sometimes. Is anybody wanting me to continue reading the Ramayana? It's up to you guys tonight. I just had my wisdom teeth taken out. I don't know if this is the same viewer who was on earlier, and I like to stick with people who are interested in what's going on. If not, thank you so much for tuning in. We might continue this tomorrow or the next day, just depending on how I'm feeling. I did just have surgery on my jaw, so we're going really slow, attempting to be very gentle tonight. And I may be in a lot of pain. So we're doing our best to read the Ramayana. We just read his part where it was describing how Ram was virtuous and good, and it was describing all the different merits that made him virtuous and good. Because Ram is called Kakutsa, or one of the most, or a worthy and righteous one. That's the way it's put. I would say one of the most, but he's an incarnation of Vishnu, and all the incarnations of Vishnu are the same in that way. They all are righteous, and they all shine with that sort of glory. So Ram is one of these deities. If you guys just want me to continue reading, you can either tell me in the comments, send me a little thumbs up, or if you don't get one of those, that's okay. Peace and love, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love each and every one of you, and I'm happy to be able to share the Ramayana with you, because this is devotion, and the world needs medicine. And devotion is the best medicine. Devotion to God is the best medicine. And that's whether you're reading, whether you're singing kirtan, whether you're meditating and recognizing that place within yourself that's one with God, and merging with it in mysticism, or even you utilizing plant medicine and shamanic methods to get to these places. It's all the same. You don't have to go out and spend thousands of years out on a mountaintop to become enlightened. You can become enlightened through an enlightening experience in the here and now at any moment. It happens like a snake shedding its skin, or like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It's just something that takes place, and it's beautifully natural and at its own time and at its own pace. There's no rush anywhere. I love each and every one of you all so much. I wish abundance for you in your spiritual walk, and I hope you have a great one. Thank you so much for tuning in.